I'm Prafnil from Nekota and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Ken Goodler and I'm from Australia, but I'm part Fijian from Watraki, and I love listening to Today FM Rocks.
For the best music and less talk, we tune into Today FM in National Village. Today FM rocks.
My name is Inai Ali and I'm from Ba, and I love the big breakfast on Today FM. I just love it and hope you love it too.
My name is Jay from La Paz. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Naushin and I'm from Sambeto, and I love Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
I'm Jackie Spate. This is FBC News. Tonight, launch of digital TV heralds new era for broadcast media. Prime Minister wants so-called keyboard warriors taken to task for spreading hate on social media. And crime rate drops in the first half of 2016. Digital TV has finally arrived in Fiji. Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama launched the service today, the first Pacific Island nation to invest in digital television. Ali Kimbia has the details.
The public trial for digital television begins next week, run by state-owned company Walesi Limited.
On Monday, the trial in the Suva Nandi corridor will commence before the full service is officially launched for the rest of the country later in the year. This is the trial period before we take the service national.
2 digital channels have been allocated to Fiji Broadcasting Corporation, 2 to Fiji Television, and 1 channel to My TV. With 5 free-to-air channels, the government is taking steps to ensure that all Fijians have access to digital television.
The Fijian government has allocated $2 million to provide low-income households with a set-top box for free.
Minister for Communications Ayasaid Kayum says digital television benefits the whole country.
Apart from the public service broadcast, it also places Fiji and Fijian technology in the 21st century.
The digital television platform will also enhance the coverage of all TV broadcast companies.
And we're going to have places that have never actually had any coverage at all will start having television coverage.
To access the digital television platform, you will need a set-top box which will cost you $99.95. This will ensure better picture quality. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama has criticized social media keyboard warriors for trying to create division. Bainimarama says he is concerned about the increasing misuse of social media by some people. Shireen Shivan reports.
Addressing thousands of students at the University of the South Pacific's annual Open Day, Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama spoke about people using social media to try and create a rift among Fijians.
Social media, such as Facebook and Twitter, can be a powerful force for good in keeping people connected and for the exchange of information and ideas. That is how I would encourage you all to use it, as a means of bringing people together. But unfortunately, there are some individuals and groups roaming cyberspace who are trying to stir up hatred against their fellow Fijians on ethnic or religious grounds.
Bainimarama has labelled these people trolls and cyber thugs who either act anonymously or steal other people's identities by setting up false accounts. He is urging the younger generation, who are the main users of social media, to expose such people.
Inciting hatred against someone because of their ethnicity or their religion is a crime under Fijian law and the laws of many other countries, including our bigger neighbors. And it cannot be justified, nor should it be allowed.
Bainimarama says he will come down hard on those who incite hatred that can easily lead to violence. He also pointed out that while freedom of expression is a vital component of democracy, it comes with a responsibility to keep our society cohesive. Shireen Shivan, FBC News.
The Fiji Police Force has recorded a reduction in the crime rate for the first half of the year. Akusita Tale reports overall crime has reduced by 6% and serious crimes decreased by 5%.
Over 10,000 criminal activities were recorded and registered in the first 6 months of this year alone.
Reduction of road fatalities, a 23% reduction was achieved, falling just short of the 30% target. Speeding, once again, tops the list as the main cause of fatal accidents. 15 of the 24 lives lost during the 6-month period were due to speeding.
Crimes against women and children decreased by 2%, not meeting the 10% target set by the force. Brigadier General Ngiliho says crimes against children is an area of concern for them.
The fact that we have children as young as 3 to 5 months old falling victims to crimes such as assault is indeed an outrage. Other offences committed against children under the age of 5 are rape, sexual assault, attempted murder.
Between the 6 to 12 years age group, 95 of the victims are female, while 42 are male. Assault causing actual bodily harm topped the list.
This begs the question as to whether we are doing enough as a society to guide them away from a life of crime. 39 male offenders were under the age of 17, and some of the offences they were charged with included defilement, abduction, indecent assault, rape, and theft, to name a few.
The police commissioner has urged the public not to pay attention to overseas media reports who have been calling Fiji a lawless country. Fiji received negative publicity from the overseas media covering the death of Russian couple's alleged murder. Akosit Tale, FBC News.
The Biosecurity Authority of Fiji is requesting importers comply with the relevant requirements in order to prevent entry of any pests and diseases. This warning comes after BAF detained a consignment of tissue cultures at Nandi International Airport after they failed to meet import permit conditions and false declarations were made. BAF says a research permit was used to seek biosecurity clearance for a commercial consignment of tissue cultures for pineapples and bananas. The authority adds that these two commodities are being exported to New Zealand under the non-bilateral quarantine agreement. Therefore, BAF has taken the necessary steps to ensure that research tissue material is genuinely imported for research purposes only and not for commercial purposes. The authority is now investigating the issuance of the import permit. The consignment of banana and pineapple plant tissues belong to Pacific Community Centre for Pacific Crops and Trees. Coming up on FBC News, revamped Exporters Award launch for aspiring businesses. And President Yoshi Konrode is the new Chief Scout. Stay with us.
Total tena bale buna bingora buna Bula FM baltendo totoga bauti na lenru dotara so na bisere so me bauti na tu na binga lili ena lo muni burobo
ni Bula oyo na rango Luisa Marau o maramani komo o bakaston chingo na Suba Handicraft Center ondo warorongo na Bula FM number 2 na seri
Bula FM number 2 na seri.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. Ethokes will be able to access their Volunteer online by the end of this year. Permanent Secretary for Ethoke Affairs Naipote Katoni Tambua confirms the VKB can only be obtained through the 14 provincial offices once the program is completed. Savara Tambua has more.
The demand for Volunteer from the Ethoke community is high, hence the ministry embarked on this initiative. Villagers will no longer have to make special trips to the city to obtain their VKB.
Most of our villages or most of the Itoke that would like to get the VKB, they can get it online or printed from our provincial council's office. They don't have to travel all the way to Suba. But in only terms of registration of new addition or omission in the VKB, it will be done in headquarters at the Native Land Commission's office.
Katoni Tambua says the provincial office are not allowed to release the VKB anyhow, and people will need to provide their birth certificates.
You can only access to your own information. Toka or Matangal, you cannot be provided other information from other, provided that Turanganya Abusa have endorsed for you to get the Abusa VKBs.
Previously, VKB was only released by the Native Lands Commission situated at the Itaukei Affairs Office in Suva. Sabaratambua, FBC News.
President Major General retired Chiochi Konrote was installed as the new Chief Scout of the Fiji Scouts Association today. On receiving the honor, he said the development of youth is important for the future of our nation. Sainiani Boila has more.
Bravo, bravo, bravo. Scouts is an association that helps promote discipline, confidence and teamwork. Konrote says developing future responsible scouts begins at the grassroots level.
As Chief Scout, I would like to urge more of our young people to join the Scouts movement in our schools, and in this regard I would like to appeal and seek the assistance of the Honourable Minister of Education, Youth and Sports in promoting and supporting the Scout movement in the schools and within our community.
Scouts Commissioner Chochingaraniwalu says President Konrote as the Chief Scout will boost the association.
Chief Scout, being the president, will help firstly provide that publicity that we need and very much so give that urge and drive into the ranks of scouting.
Garaniwalu says the Scouting Association can say with gladness and authority that a lot of development done in Fiji today was due to scouting. Scouts from around the country were at the State House today to witness the commissioning of their new Scout Chief. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
A children's rights organization in Fiji believes sexual abuse of women and young girls is a leading factor in child abandonment cases. Save the Children Fiji has reached out to a number of communities in the country to find the reasons behind such hideous acts. Shireen Shivan reports.
In recent months, you have heard about children being abandoned and thrown in all sorts of places, whether it be the back seat of a bus or a rubbish dump. Save the Children Fiji Chief Executive Iris Lo Mackenzie says there's a lot of factors which lead up to such situations.
The situation at home, so whether it's the support that they have, also issues around disability. So if a child is born with a disability and the parents do not have the necessary coping mechanism or information about services that are available to deal with a child with special needs, there's also always stress around the family issues, around income, around whether they'll be able to afford to look after these children. Also, there's increase in incidents of sexual abuse of women.
Lo Mackenzie says sexual abuse often leads to pregnancy, but she is advising mothers that there is a way to deal with this.
There are lots of families out there who can care for these children. There's also we have the Department of Social Welfare that also is in charge of the welfare of children. So there are options for these women, and we are concerned that women are sort of reaching that stage where they're actually deciding to abandon their children.
Meanwhile, police is still investigating the incident where the body of a newborn baby was discovered inside a bus in Wainimbokas in Osori, and the mother of another baby is questioned by police, whose body was discovered inside a dumpster in Savu town. Shireen Shivan, FBC News.
Art is being used as a means to help community leaders deal with trauma and to develop other skills in the community. A Kenyan national is in Fiji using art to rehabilitate people from Nakorotumbu, Nalawa and Saivo districts where tropical cyclone Winston made landfall in February. Ellen Stalls has the story.
Workshop participant Kilera Ratu travelled from Buriwai. Her village was one of those devastated by the cyclone, with only 4 villages still fully intact after the storm.
Speak honestly, it's a very bad trauma, and coming into this workshop, like there's sharing all the problems, it like lightens whatever we've been through.
It's a little unorthodox for us, but art and songs are being used as tools for trauma healing for 30 leaders, village headmen, young people and women leaders. Facilitating the workshop, Babu Ayindo, a Kenyan national working at the University of Otago in New Zealand.
When you employ arts-based approaches through the visual work you have seen in some parts of this room, through song, through indigenous ways like Talanoa, how do people tell stories about what happened? Then you can go much deeper in understanding what happened. If you just use words communicate very little, especially when it comes to painful experiences.
He says while rebuilding homes and infrastructure is important for shelter, people need to also deal with their emotional pain and trauma.
Find a way to just tell themselves, this is the way I heal, this is the way I can get time off and be able to cope and become more effective as a leader.
Rokotuira Mosese Nakuroi has thanked workshop organizers' friend for the 4-day workshop.
The trauma workshop that we're having now will really rehabilitate the people physically, psychologically, to enable them to rebuild their home back.
I will be able to share these experiences I've learnt with the people in my village.
I have a club and I will share with them what I've learned from this workshop. The workshop also promoted peace building, taught participants skills to help them survive and hopefully has a rippling effect in their community. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
We turn to sports now. Here's Rohit with the latest.
Thank you, Jackie. Good evening. Coming up in sports today. Last Team Fiji contingent leaves for Rio. And BOG pools are drawn. This and more coming up.
Bula, I'm Duri from Nasinu Market. My choice is simple, Gold FM. Only the classic hits.
My name is Yvonne. I'm from Nandi. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Sayandra, my name is Sunny. Only the Gold FM at Golden Point Resort, Raki Raki.
Hi, I'm Anna of Nasinu. When it comes to a radio, my choice is always Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Anna and I'm from Nandi. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Fasanoc has today revealed that all Team Fiji athletes are insured for the Rio Olympics in Brazil. This is the last Team Fiji athletes and officials left for the Olympic Games this morning. Pashnil Prasad reports.
Saying their goodbye to loved ones, the remaining 17 athletes and officials left for the Olympic Games today, with Fasanoc giving them a confidence-boosting assurance. Fasanoc Chief Executive Lorraine Ma says they paid a premium of around $20,000 for those representing Fiji.
It's a travel insurance as well as an insurance that covers the athletes when they are at the Games. It covers injury, it covers their health, their loss of baggage. There's actually also a clause on kidnapping and terrorism.
The 98-member team contingent will be well taken care of in Brazil for the next 3 weeks.
Every Team Fiji that goes to a Games is well insured by Fasanoc, and it's a traveling insurance that covers all the I guess the risks, takes care of all the risks that the athletes will be faced from the time they leave Fiji to the period of the Games in Rio.
Today's departure was special for everyone, with families, friends and sporting officials coming together.
Some of them have put in their 10,000 hours already. This is not the first Olympic Games for a number of our athletes. And so we need to recognize the efforts and the sacrifices that they have made on this journey to Rio, to do their best and to represent Fiji.
Now it's time for Team Fiji to fly the Fijian flag in Brazil and at the same time bring home the nation's first Olympic medal. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
Weightlifting Fiji is hopeful that two of its lifters will be able to match other athletes from around the world at the Olympic Games. Apollonia Vaivai and Manueli Tulo will be representing Fiji in Brazil. Here is Vashnil Prasad once again.
25-year-old weightlifter Apollonia Vaivai is ready to make her debut at the Olympics.
My preparation is good. Everything fallen to what I expected, and I've been hoping to go to Rio, and it has happened.
The Tavioni native believes it will be a tough ask in Brazil, but is not giving up.
Back to the Commonwealth Games. Olympic is the most spots people want to go to. So I think it will be a good experience because the environment and seeing champions, weightlifting champions.
Weightlifting Fiji coach Jovueti says his lifter could spring a few surprises.
Last week we spent 1 week training camp in New Caledonia and she lifted very well there. So hopefully that she will achieve what is wanted from her.
Team Fiji is also not counting out wonder boy Manueli Tulo, who lately has been back in form.
This week he did 245 kilos total, which is really big for 56 kilo category. So everything is looking pretty good for our two lifters. Yeah.
Vaivai and Tulo are the best weightlifting has produced for these Olympics, and they are ready to display a powerful performance in Rio. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
Archer Robert Elder is wary of the competition he will be up against at the Olympics in Brazil next month. Elder, who qualified on merit, is one of the last group of athletes who left our shores for Brazil today. Melita Vanga tells us more.
Although archery is a minor sport in Fiji, the 34-year-old has been training hard to achieve his goal.
I was training with Coach Yep for 3.5 months. In Thailand, the training was very intense. There was a couple of things I worked on with my technique. I'm aiming to go to these Olympic Games, just do my best. And if I come out with up on the podium, then I'll be happy.
It hasn't been all smooth sailing for the 3-time Olympian to get where he is today. Sacrifice and hard work has contributed to his success over the years.
I'm hoping to go and do my, go and get a personal best in the ranking round and get a good placing in the elimination round and take each match as it comes.
Having an archer for almost 18 years, Elder says the sport has grown slowly.
With Elder's qualification in April, the number of interested members has increased. This has opened people's minds and making them realize that there is archery in Fiji. Melita Vanga, FBC Sports.
The defending champions and host of this year's Ink Mobile Battle of the Giants football tournament, Rewa, have been drawn in a tough pool. The Delta Tigers face Fiji FAC finalists Suva and Nandi, and underdogs Dreketi in Pool A. Pool B has last year's runners-up Ba, Lotoka, Lambasa and Nandronga.
A very good, interesting pool, and nobody can say, it's one-sided or whatnot. It's a balanced pool, and if you see the performance in Vodafone Fiji FAC this year, all the teams, had given everyone a good go. You can't take anybody that they're not performing too well. Even they discounted Dreketi, but Dreketi came out firing, and Nandronga, gave a hassle too.
The pool games will be played from the 26th to the 28th of this month at Nausoris Ratu Zakambau Park. Paradise Beverages and Fijian International have renewed their contract and have re-signed their sponsorship agreement for the Fiji International Golf Tournament in October. This is the third year Paradise Beverages has sponsored the event to take their brand to the international market. Their general manager Tony Scanlon says this year's tournament will be bigger and better than ever.
Just as a bit of a sideline, we have our first new rums going to Australia leaving today. So that's a nice little milestone to coincide with this announcement today. Very important that we also reward the local and community with their beers and make sure they're available for the local communities to sample and to make sure they enjoy themselves at this event.
The golf tournament runs from the 6th to the 9th of October at the Natandola Bay Championship Golf Course. And that's it from Sports Today. It's back to Jackie for business.
A revamped and newly named Prime Minister's International Business Awards was launched last night. The former PM's Export of the Year Awards has 12 new categories with a Supreme Award, the highest accolade. Maggie Boyle tells us more.
From the tenacity of a contemporary Mecca, the launch of this year's reinvigorated PM's Award is about celebrating the journey of successful businesses.
We are in an era of confidence in trade and economic development. Fiji is not just a little country tucked away in the Pacific. Fiji is a little country with big ideas, a country that looks outward, where Fijians find and seize the opportunities.
Minister Fayaz Koya is quick to point out the links between good business and continued economic growth.
Total investments are expected to be over a targeted 25% of GDP for a third consecutive year. Furthermore, in 2015, private investments were approximately 20.9% of the GDP, or 83.6% of the total investments.
Spearheaded by Investment Fiji, the 12 new award categories are responsive to an evolving business landscape.
The winner of the general categories will vie for the top accolade of Supreme Award, proudly sponsored by our strategic partner Westpac Banking Corporation, and to be announced at the awards ceremony. The Supreme Award is not directly entered, but selected from all applications, recognising that they've excelled in every part of the awards criteria.
Goro Mulatut adds that the new lineup will include excellence in innovation, e-commerce and service, to name a few. The winners will be announced in November. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Once again, most of the country had a fine day with sunny skies and cool breezes. Bayan-Lambasa topped the temperatures at 32 degrees, Lautoka was at 31, Nandi hit 30, Suva was a cold 28 and Savu-Savu 27. Tomorrow will be another fine day with a chance of overnight showers in Savu-Savu and Suva. Looking ahead to Sunday, the fine weather will continue. The marine forecast calls for southeast winds 15 to 20 knots and moderate to rough seas. Recapping the main stories for tonight, launch of digital TV heralds new era for broadcast media. Prime Minister wants so-called keyboard warriors taken to task for spreading hate on social media, and crime rate drops in the first half of 2016. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. On to our poll question for this week, and we are asking, can any other sports apart from rugby sevens win an Olympic medal? To answer, visit our FBC website. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Jackie Spate. Have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Ni Modamanda.
मैं हूं रेहान खान करबो तालेबू के जैसे फेस्टिवल एग्रेट है करबो में उसी तरह मिर्ची एफएम नंबर 1 है करबो में
एलिन लटका में मिर्ची एफएम को लॉक कर दिया जाए मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट
हम नकाशी से साइमान है हमारा फेस्टिवल जैसे नंबर 1 है वैसे मिर्ची एफएम नंबर 1 है
माय नेम इज दिनेश हम नैंडी में काम करता है स्लीपिंग जायंट जिपलाइन में और मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट आई लाइक इट
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट